Hello, everybody. Good stuff. I like when people say hello back instead of like a, like like we're nodding at each other at a traffic light or something. Hello, everyone. My name is Meg. Couple of new faces here in Ignite, so welcome to Yoga Ignite. If you did not know you were taking Yoga Ignite, now you do. Surprise! So you're more than welcome to come up here a little bit closer if you want to, or you can stay in the back of the studio. That's good too. But Yoga Ignite, we do weights and resistance bands and a little bit of extra cardio stuff as well. So you're more than welcome to grab weights or bands or any of the props that we have in the back to practice with, because we clean those after every class. And if you don't have any of that kind of stuff, that's totally fine, because I teach it both ways, so you don't have to have it to take the full class. So with that, let's get started in child's pose. We'll get moving and grooving this afternoon. This first Ignite class of the new year. Let's make some magic happen tonight. Take a deep breath in together. Fill yourself all the way up. And exhale everything out. Like you're clearing something out. Deep breath in. Long exhale. Push the air out. Good. One more time like that. A full breath in. Full breath out. And start to create your Ujjayi breath. A long inhale with a pause at the top. Long exhale with a pause at the bottom, so that you can start to build not only the rhythm of your breath, but the heat from the inside out. So the heat from the room can work from the outside in. Downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. Keep building the breath and move your body around any way that you need to. You can pedal out your feet, shake out your head. Take stock of where things are, especially when it's this cold outside. Take stock. Like if something's tighter than it normally feels, cool, just note that. And walk your feet up to your hands. Hang in ragdoll. Big rounded low back. So you can do whatever you want with your hands and your arms, and then pull the pit of your belly way in and up so your low back can stretch out. Yeah, your low back stretches out up toward the ceiling. Press into your feet, rise all the way up to standing. Reach through your fingertips and bring your thumbs to heart center. Set your intention for your practice. One word you want to focus on, one thing you want to focus on. We'll send out all those intentions with 3 ohms. Take a deep breath in. Inhale, reach up, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, tricep pull if you've got weights. Bring it up to 90 degrees. High push-up and pause. Right knee to right elbow. Left knee to left elbow. Low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a full breath in together. Exhale it out. Yes, good. Breathe in. Breath out. Beautiful. One more. Fill up. Push all the air back out. Look forward and move. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Tricep pull with your weights. Fold down. Extended mountain. Long, slow inhale. All the way up. Forward fold. Halfway lift with your weights. High push up. Right knee to right elbow. Left knee to left elbow. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Open up your chest. Downward facing dog. Breathe in together. Full exhale. Breathe in. Press your thumbs down. Exhale. Good. One more. Fill up. Exhale completely. Step or jump to the head of your mat. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. Good. Forward fold. Rise to stand. Extended mountain. Reach. Forward fold. Halfway lift. High push up. Knee tap on the right, knee tap on the left. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in together. Exhale it out. Good. Breath in. Fill up your lungs. Push the air back out. One more. Fill. Exhale completely, step or jump forward. Halfway lift, tricep pull, fold down. Rise to stand, extended mountain, look up between your fingers, forward fold. Halfway lift, tricep pull, high push up. Knee tap, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Breath in together, big exhale. Breathe in, fill, purposeful exhale. One more. Exhale completely, look forward, jump to the head of your mat. Halfway lift, fold down. One more sunny, rise all the way up and reach, forward fold. Halfway lift, tricep pull, high push up. Knee tap, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Breath in, exhale. Good, breathe in. Press your chest to your thighs, exhale. Last one, fill. Exhale completely, feet to hands. Halfway lift, tricep pull. Fold down, chair pose and stay. Sit way back in your hips. Stretch out through your fingertips. Yes, make your arms as long as they'll go. Then take a deep breath in here. Hands to heart twist right on your exhale. Open your arms, breathe in. Stay for the whole breath out. Back up to chair. Reach. Twist left on your exhale. Open, breathe in. Stay for the breath out. Back up to chair. Reach. Forward fold. Halfway lift, tricep pull. High push up. Knee tap, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Right side warrior one, step your right foot through, weights in your hands or open palms. Go all the way up, chaturanga, hands to the mat. Inhale up, exhale down. Left side warrior one, step through, go all the way up, reach up, chaturanga, hands down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. Exhale it out. Yeah, you can sigh if you need to. Breathe in and clear it. Last one. Empty completely. Move forward. Halfway lift, tricep pull. Fold down. Chair pose for one breath this time. Reach. Twist right on your exhale. Open and breathe in. Stay for the breath out. Back up to chair. Extend. Twist left. Inhale, open. Stay for the twist. Back up to chair. Forward fold. Halfway lift, tricep pull. High push up. Knee tap. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Warrior one right side. Step through. You've got one breath to go all the way up. Chaturanga on your exhale. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Left side, warrior one. Step, go, reach. Low push up. Inhale up. Exhale down. Breath in together. Empty it out. Breathe in. Exhale. Press your thumbs down into the floor. One more breath. Exhale completely. Step or jump. Halfway lift, tricep pull. Fold down. Chair pose. Twist right. Inhale, open. Stay and exhale. Good. Chair pose. Reach. Twist left. Open on the breath in. Stay for the breath out. Twist, twist, twist. Chair pose. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. High push up. You got it. Knee tap on the right. Knee tap on the left. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Warrior one right side. Step. Get nice and low in your lunge. Beautiful. Chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Left side. Warrior one. Step. Stretch all the way up to your fingers. Low push up. Upward facing. Downward facing. Breath in together. Empty it out. Breathe in and clear it. Good. Last one. Breathe in together. Exhale together. Step or jump forward. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. Fold down. Last sun B. Chair pose. Reach. Twist right. Inhale, open. Stay for the breath out. back up to chair, extend, twist left. Open on the inhale. Stay for the breath out. Back up to chair. Forward fold. Halfway lift, tricep pull. High plank. Knee tap, low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Warrior one right side. You got it. Come low in the lunge. Knee right on top of your ankle. Yes. Chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Left side. Warrior one. Step, press, stretch. Chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Oh. Yes, those of you who are new to Ignite, you're like, whoa, okay. Yes, we start a little quick out of the gate to get the heat going. I know. Send your right leg up to the sky. Bend your knee and open your hip. Pause here and breathe. Put your attention on the breath. Big full inhales and complete exhales. Then you choose. You can stay here three-legged or flip your dog. Go all the way over. Whatever's touching the floor, make a full connection. Your feet, your fingertips, and then peel your chest and upper back open. Make space there. Yes. Flip back over, side plank. You can have a weight in your left hand or open palm up to the ceiling. So you customize the side plank however it needs to be. Leg can be in the air or down on the ground. Everybody flex your ankles. Yes, there you go, Jordan. Beautiful, Kylie. One more inhale. High to low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Send your left leg up to the sky. Bend your knee and open your hip. And then you ask again, is the breath still happening? Is that here? Stay three-legged or flip your dog. Steady rhythmic breath. So no matter what's happening, whether that's wheel pose right now, whether that's I'm figuring out what the heck I'm supposed to do in flip dog here right now, breath. Yeah, flip back over, side plank. Weight in your right hand or open palm right up to the ceiling. So there's always a way to customize each and every pose. And if that's knee down or elbow down instead of palm, like create the pose so that it fits what your body needs. One more breath. Low push-up. Upward facing dog. Big inhale. Downward facing dog. Take one breath in together. A full breath out. Right foot between your hands, crescent lunge. Breathe as you set up this pose. So you're on the ball of your back foot this time, and it helps to separate your feet like they're on train tracks instead of on a tight rope to help keep your balance. Hands up to the sky. Yeah, you can certainly have your weights in your crescent lunge. We'll do some knee dips here, so you don't have to touch your knee all the way to the ground. You're just dipping it low. Go for 5, 4, 3. Keep breathing. 2, 1, stretch up tall, feet in the floor, hands to heart center, twist right. Powerful breath. Open your arms. Press the pinky toe on your back foot way down into the ground. Yes, Karen, beautiful. Just like that. One more inhale. Stay for the whole exhale. Warrior 2, face the opposite way. Take up lots of space in your warrior 2, like your whole mat's worth of space. Extended side angle. Elbow to your front thigh or fingertips down by your arch. You can certainly put your hand on a block or put your hand on a water bottle there. That's kind of an in-between space. Half bind, top arm around your back. You can have it behind your hip or tuck it into that hip crease on your front leg. Maybe the full bind, bottom arm underneath, and it helps to lunge deeper to get the full bind. Yes, Rachel, like that. When you come lower into the front leg, there's more space to work with. Yes, Cindy, one more inhale. Chaturanga, hands to the mat. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left foot crescent lunge. Step your left foot between your hands. And you start with what's touching the floor first. The feet connected, your back toes connected. Breath. Hands up to the sky. Knee dips with the back leg. Go for 5, 4. Keep breathing. 3, 2, 1. Stretch up. Hands to heart center. Twist left. Then back into the breath because everyone likes to hold their breath in the knee dips. Spread your fingertips apart. Yeah. Back thigh way up to the ceiling. Good. One more inhale. Savor the exhale. Wring everything out. Warrior 2. It's like a spring uncoiling. Come down nice and deep into your lunge. Extended side angle, elbow to thigh or fingertips by your arch. Those of you with the weight in your top hand and extended side angle, make sure to squeeze your shoulder blades together on your back. Yes, Jenna, so that that weight stays right in line where it needs to be. Half bind, top arm around your back. Peel your top shoulder open. And if the space is there, go for the full bind. Oh, Jim, you're so close. Come a little lower in your front leg. Yes, there it is. One more inhale. Chaturanga, hands to the mat. Big breath in up dog. Fill up. Downward facing dog. I think it's time for a sigh. Take a breath in together. Yeah, you can make more noise. Breathe in, like actually sigh. Good. One more. Fill up. Step or jump to the head of your mat. Halfway lift, tricep pull. Fold down. Chair pose and stay. Way back into your chair pose. Sit back so that your toes can get light on the mat and you can stretch out through your fingertips. Good. Go from chair pose to iron footstool. Rise onto the ball mounds of your feet. Reach your arms straight out in front of you. I know. Thighs parallel with the floor. You got it. Keep squeezing in. Drop your heels. Hands to heart. Twist to the right. Stay low in your legs. Stay low in the legs. Open your arms. Be here and breathe. 5, 4, 3, you got it. 2, 1. Chair pose. Forward fold. I know. First 2 fingers around your big toes. So you bend your knees as much as you need to make that happen. I like bending my knees and putting my stomach on my thighs sometimes. That feels good. Look at the back edge of your mat so your head's nice and easy, your neck's nice and easy. Release your hands. Crow pose from the head of your mat. Crow pose. Spread out your fingertips nice and wide and bring your knees right up in towards your armpits so that your feet start to get light on the ground. So whether crow pose feels super comfortable and you're like, yeah, got it, or crow is brand new, same rules apply. Eyes in front of your fingertips, belly in and up. You got it. Yeah, one more breath here. Step or jump back, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a full breath in together. Exhale it out. Good. Breathe in. Breath out. One more. Empty it out. Step or jump forward. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. Fold down. Chair pose and breathe. Get that breath going. Because you know where you're headed, so you use the breath to move the heat out of your legs and up and out through your fingertips. Iron footstool. Come onto the ball mounds of your feet. Thighs parallel with your mat. Yes. Good. Belly in and up. Squeeze it in. Drop the heels. Hands to heart. Twist left. Beautiful. Open your arms. Stay in the heat of it. Let the heat build. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chair pose. Fold. Gorilla. Step on your palms. Toes all the way up to your wrists. And again, you create the space that you need here. So you bend your knees as much as you want. And your legs can stay together. You can take them up to mat width distance apart even to get that stretch. Back into your breath. Steady and rhythmic. And if you can't hear the person next to you, breathe a little louder so they come back into the space too. So people practicing at home can hear you. Okay, crow number 2 from the head of your mat. You got it. Spread out the fingertips wide. Press down on purpose. On purpose through each fingertip, through the edges of your thumbs. Take your gaze in front of your fingertips because you want to move forward instead of straight down. Yeah, there you go. And then you can play with having one foot or both feet. Yes, Jordan. One more breath. Step or jump back, chaturanga. Good work. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a full breath in together. Sigh it out. Breath in. Clear it. Last one. Exhale completely. Step or jump to the head of your mat. Halfway lift, tricep pull. Fold down. Rise all the way up to standing. Eagle pose, right side. Right arm under, right leg over. So pick a spot right in front of you that's not moving around to use as a focal point. Your drishti. And everybody start breathing again because it got really quiet. Let your weight sink down into the four corners of your standing foot. Yes, Peter, just like that. Keep your arms bound. Take airplane with your legs. Press your right leg straight back behind you. Yep, take your time. A nice slow transition. Press, press, press through the lifted foot. When you've got it as long as it'll go, full airplane. Reach your arms back behind you. Beautiful, Carrie. Lots of space in your chest. An upward facing dog in your chest. Yeah, then half moon, open up. So bottom hand goes down, left hand goes down to the floor or a block. Right hand up to the sky. It helps to flex that lifted ankle. That'll keep the leg light and lifted up to the ceiling. Good. One more inhale. Both feet to the floor. Eagle pose, left side. Left arm under, left leg over. Wrap, squat down, eyes on one spot. So use the tools you've already been building this entire practice. Gaze on one spot, breath moving in and out, and then heat to move things around. Nice. Sink a little lower in your hips. Just like a plumb line. You drop your tailbone closer toward the floor. Arms stay bound. Airplane with your legs. Press. Get full extension through the leg where the muscle has to squeeze into your leg bones. Then full airplane. Reach your arms back. Yes. As far forward as you go with your chest. Press back with your foot. Get long. Half moon. Open up. Steady breath the whole way to help keep your balance. And if you need to step out or readjust, just do that and then come back to the pose. No big deal. One more inhale. Both feet to the floor. Eagle pose, right side, second set. Right arm under, right leg over. Eyes on one spot. Yeah, you wrap your arms as best you can. If your shoulders are a little tight, you just do the best you can and squeeze it in towards center. Breathe. Yeah, there's a softness that comes with the breath. Go from eagle to warrior three. Reach your arms forward, press your foot back behind you. You can have your hands interlaced or have your hands open, whichever feels more accessible for you, but stretch fingertips to foot. Standing splits, hands down to the floor. They can be on the ground or on your standing ankle. And then you've got the option to do some handstand hops here. So you can work on the standing split. If you're taking the hops, look forward in front of your fingertips, and it's the bottom leg that does the hop. Yes, Megan, like that. The bottom leg that helps press you up. Good. One more inhale. Both feet to the mat. I know. Shake it out a little bit. Rise up. Cool. We're good. Left side eagle. Left arm under. Left leg over. Eagle pose. Eyes on one point. Pull the pit of your belly in and up. Let it connect the upper and lower parts of your body. Warrior three, reach your arms straight ahead. Press your foot back behind you. Straight back, as if you're going to touch the wall behind you with your foot while you touch the wall in front of you with your fingertips. Standing splits, hands down to the floor or your standing ankle. If you're taking the handstand hops, flat palms on the floor. Flat palms on the floor, then you look ahead in front of the fingers. Yes, Jim, there you go. In front of your fingertips. Couple of hops. One more breath. Nice dismount, Jenna. Rise up to standing. Standing bow or dancer's pose, right side. So for standing bow, soft crease of your elbow faces out, hand on the inside of your ankle. So some of you will be grabbing the outside of your ankle, and that's totally fine. Just make sure the soft crease of your elbow faces out. Start to tip forward. Yes, bring the breath into it. So I like to play with this pose a little bit where you pause, catch the balance. Okay, cool, I can go a little bit further, lean into it, press back with the shin. Okay, maybe there's more space. Play around with it a little bit and find that sweet spot right at the edge of the pose. One more breath. Left side. Soft crease of the elbow out. Take your pose. Eyes on one spot, lean into it. So you might find that one side you have a little more flexibility than the other side, and that's fine. Work with where this leg is, where this hip is. Lean into it and stretch your body out. One more breath. Both feet to the floor. Right side, second set. If you like to switch to dancer's pose and grab your strap or your towel, go ahead and do that. Take your pose. Yeah, some of you are in the space where you're like overthinking it. There's a lot of facial expressions happening. Just come right back down into your body. Let whatever's coming up come up, and you stay right here in this pose. You've got one more breath. Switch sides. And this stuff comes up, and the brain goes, hey, but what about this? What about this? Nope, we're doing this right now. Just this one thing. Press your lifted foot straight up to the ceiling. One more inhale. Both feet to the mat. Tree pose, right side. We'll do the hip opener version of tree pose today. So your right foot over your left thigh like a figure 4. Hands start at heart center. You can hang out right here. This is step number 1. Step number 2, bend your knee. Bring your elbows down to your shin. This could be a lot of hip information and you're like, yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm not going to go to step 3. You can hang out right here. Step 3, bend a little more. Get your hands down to the floor. So it might be that you need to have your hands on a block because you can't quite reach the floor, and that's totally fine. The last piece of this, if you're looking for the arm balance, the hands on the floor feel really good. You'll lean your shin into the backs of your arms and lift your back foot off the floor. And if you're like, no, I'm good, I'm not going to get all the way there, that's totally fine. Stick with the step you're in for one more breath. Rise all the way up to standing. Shake that out a little bit. Left side, left foot across your right thigh. Figure 4, start at step 1. Eyes on one spot to keep your balance. Make your way down to step 2, elbows down to your shin. For most of you, this will give you information in your hips already, and you can hang out here for a little bit too. Step 3, hands down to the mat or your block. Step 4 is the arm balance. Yes, Susanna, just keep leaning into it and tuck your heel up towards your tailbone. Beautiful. Press down and rise all the way up to standing. Whew. Come up to the head of your mat if you're not there already. Extended mountain. Reach up to the ceiling. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Tricep pull with your weights. High push up and pause. Right knee to right elbow. Left knee to left elbow. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in together. Clear it out. Yeah, get back into the breath. Breathe in and empty. One more. Fill all the way. Empty all the way. Right side triangle. Step your right foot between your hands. Take up lots of space on your mat. Long straight legs, long straight arms, and then your hand can come down to your shin or a block. Steady breath. Make it big, powerful breath that happens here. On purpose breath. Press into your feet. Rise all the way up to standing. Side facing wide leg forward fold. So turn both feet to the long edge of your mat and at least feet parallel, if not slightly pigeon-toed with your toes turned in. Hinge down. We'll do ninja lunges on this side. So bend your right knee, sink into your right hip. And then over into your left knee and into your left hip. Yeah, so you go at the pace that you want to go. It might be quicker or slower than your neighbor, but you do you. And then you have your option to have your hands on the ground or have your hands up and away from the floor. Breathe as you go side to side. Your hips will thank you for doing this, especially when it's cold outside and things get super tight. You've got another breath or two to get complete. Then you'll all meet up in center. Press into your feet, rise all the way up to standing. Namaste, front facing forward fold. So little baby warrior 1 stand. Start with hands on your hips so you can really get your fingertips into your hip creases. Lead with your chest and pull your hips back with your fingertips. Straight back, so your spine is as long as humanly possible on your way down. Stay right here and breathe. Tailbone straight back, crown of your head straight forward. Good, lots of square hips in the room. You want your hips as square as possible to the back edge of your mat, which can get a little tricky when you're not specifically looking at them. Twisting triangle, left arm down, could be on a block, right arm straight out. Ring out to the long edge of your mat. Twist and ring out. Yes, and you can stay right here or shift to twisting half moon and float your back leg up to the sky. So that'll take you moving your hand or your block a little further forward. Yeah, good adjustment so that you have room to lift your leg up. One more inhale. High to low push-up, hands to the floor. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side triangle. Step your left foot between your hands. Go for as much space as possible. Long limbs, long fingertips, a long spine. And bring your breath into it, really purposeful. Full inhales, long exhales to fill up all of the space you've already made. Press into your feet, rise all the way up. Side facing wide leg fold. Turn your feet to be slightly pigeon-toed, then interlace your fingers at your low back for this one. So you can have hands bound or have a towel between your hands. Hinge down. Yeah, let your knees be soft, a little bit of a bend in your knees. So the work stays in your hamstrings. So if you're super bendy flexy, more of a bend in your knees than you think. More of a bend than you think, yes, because that will keep the work in the muscles of the backs of your legs rather than having it in the locked out joints where nothing happens. Yeah, you can move around a little bit. Some of you are moving side to side or shaking out your head, all that stuff, good stuff. Release your hands down, rise all the way up to standing. Namaste front facing, fingertips in your hip creases. So you want your feet at least hip width distance apart, if not a little bit wider, so that you've got room to square your hips, then hinge forward. Tailbone straight back. Crown of the head long, long, long away from your tailbone. Good, breathe right here. Soften your toes. Yes. Yeah, press down with the soles of your feet and let your toes be soft. Twisting triangle. Right arm down, left arm out. Let the twist be from the pit of your belly all the way up and out through your chest. So rather than it just being the arm that's doing the twist, your whole torso rings out toward the side of the room. And you stay or twisting half moon. Lift that back leg up to the sky. It takes moving forward a little bit to balance that out. Yeah, you have to shift the weight into the front foot. Good. Last inhale. Stretch. High to low push-up. Oof. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. Exhale it out. Breathe in and clear it. One more. Exhale everything. Roll out to a high plank. Shoulders stacked right on top of your wrists. We'll do some mountain climbers before we get to the floor. So knees into your nose at your own pace. Go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower to the mat. All the way down, all the way down. Yes, set up for locust pose or Superman. Locust pose, palms face down by your hips. Superman, arms out in front of your mat. So you choose which one. Rise up and away from the floor. Everybody pull the pit of your belly way in and up. And squeeze your shoulder blades together on your back. Yes, Stephanie, I saw that. One more breath. Lift up, lower down. Rock your hips left and right to release your low back. Number 2, either stick with locust or you can take Superman. You choose which pose you want. Rise up and away from the floor. Choose your own adventure back bending. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Press your chest past the front edge of your mat. Lower down. Side to side with the hips. Floor bow is next. We're taking 2, so you can take both ankles at once or grab one ankle at a time. Grab a hold, bend your knees. Press your shins to the back of the room. Rise up. Yeah, come up and away from the floor and send your shins straight back, so much that it opens up the front of your chest. One more breath. Lower down. You got it. Side to side. If that helps release your low back. And then number 2 on the floor bow. Switch which leg you're grabbing or grab both ankles again. Go right up and away from the floor. Big open space through your chest, and then bring in the breath to fill up all of that new space. To create more space, lower down. Take it side to side. Upward facing dog, rise up off your mat. Downward facing dog, press back. Take one breath in, full exhale. Look between your hands, jump through to sit, staff pose. Sit like a tall capital letter L. Flex your ankles, reach your arms out in front. Just stay right here, tall spine. Squeeze everything into center. Lower your spine to the mat. One bone at a time, slow as you can go. Slow as you can go, but also breathing. Yeah, those two things happening simultaneously. Ooh, you guys are moving slow tonight. I like it. Yep, stick with it. Slow, as if you want to hit each vertebrae down your back onto the floor. And then when you get there, bridge pose. Bend your knees, plant your feet on the floor. Feet going straight ahead at 12 o'clock. Press down and rise up. Lift your hips, lift all the way up to your shoulders. You got options with your hands. You can interlace them at your low back or have cactus arms and press your arms into the floor that way, whichever gives you access to pressing your shoulders into the mat. One more breath here. Lower your hips. Take your knees left and right. Bridge number 2. Press into your feet, rise up. You got it. Keep them hip-width distance apart and anchor your big toe mounts straight down into the floor. Now bring your right knee into your chest. Press your right foot up to the sky. Pulse your hips up to the ceiling. Go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. You got it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch legs. Left leg up to the sky. Press. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Foot on the mat. Lower down. Knees side to side. All right, yogis, it's time. It's time for wheel pose. Wheel pose number 1. Tuck your fingertips under your shoulders. Press down and rise up. Come up and away from the mat. Yes, and if bridge is a better fit, stick with the bridge, but up and away from the mat. Tuck your chin and come down. Take a full breath in together. Big clearing breath out. Number 2, press down, rise up. Press down, rise up. You've been building for this peak pose. Tuck your chin and come down. Breathe in together. Full breath out. Number 3, press down and rise up. You're at the halfway point. So bridge or wheel, and you just choose the pose and go. Tuck your chin and come down. Breath in, breath out. Number 4, rise up. You got it. When your mind starts to make up a story about why it's not this or not that, but you just do the pose and see what happens, then come on down. Breath in, exhale. Number 5, press down and go. Press down and go. Eyes on one spot. Big open space through your chest. Lower down. Full inhale. Full exhale. Last one, yogis. Last one. Wheel pose. Rise up and away from the mat. Stay here for 5, 4. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Supta Baddha Konasana. Press the soles of your feet together. Let your knees drop out. And then hands wherever they want to go. No wrong answers with the hands here. Pick a spot right up at the ceiling. Stare at that point. So even as stuff comes up to the surface, as physical sensations come up to the surface, you're just right here in your body and you're along for the ride. Along for the ride. Happy baby or dead bug. Soles of the feet up to the sky. You can grab either the edges of your feet or the backs of your thighs, whichever gets your whole spine down on the floor. And if you rock side to side, it's happy baby. If you hang out in stillness, it's dead bug. Legs straight up to the sky. Hands either behind your head or underneath your glutes for scissor legs. A little more stable under the glutes, a little more work if your hands are behind your head. Lower your right leg halfway to the floor. Take a breath in. Exhale, switch your legs. Good. Stay. Breathe in. Exhale, switch. Breath in and switch. Keep going with your breath. The exhale is where you switch so you can pull your abdominal muscles down to the floor. Keep going for the count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Awesome breath. 3, 2, 1. Legs straight up. Hands can stay behind your head or move under your glutes. Lower both legs 30 degrees to the floor. Yes. Lower another 30. Lower to hover. Flutter kick your feet. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs up. Belly down to the floor. Set number 2. Lower 30. Lower 60. Lower to hover. Scissor legs, one over the other. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs up. I know, you've got one more set. Lower 30. Lower 60. Lower to hover, legs like a pendulum. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs up, knees into your chest. Oh, yes. Rock forward and back, come up into boat pose. Boat pose with either block or weights right at heart center. You can have your hands together at heart center too, that works just fine. Sit up nice and tall in your boat pose. You can drop your heels if you need more balance. We're going to row the boat side to side. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Flex your ankles. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog. The facial expressions in the boats tonight have been excellent, so thank you for that. Downward facing dog. Right side half pigeon, right knee to right wrist. If this pose is a little too much for your knees, you can take the exact same pose on your back like Roy has up here. There's no pressure on your knees. So you choose the variation that works best for you. Now, a place for your head to rest, either on your stacked fists, on the floor, on a block, somewhere so that you don't need to hold your whole head up. And put your attention on your breath. Yeah, longer inhales now, longer exhales in a way that can really clear out, even from the very bottom of your lungs, up and out of your system. So that you're really taking advantage of all of the space in your lungs, all the way out to the edges of your rib cage. Filling as much space as humanly possible. Each time your brain starts to take you off somewhere down a rabbit hole, as soon as you notice that you went somewhere, just right back to your breath. No extra story around it or thing you have to do about it. You just, oh, okay, back to the breath. You've got a few more breaths here in half pigeon. You can stay right where you are or take king pigeon. You'll rise up and grab a hold of your back ankle with either one of your hands, whichever one feels more accessible. Sometimes it takes coming out of the pose a little bit to grab your foot or your ankle. Just do that and then get settled back in. Lots of info in the quad. Downward facing dog, shake it out. Left side half pigeon, left knee to left wrist. A place for your head to rest. Then attention on your breath. Make it something simple for your mind to focus on. Give it that job. So it might be that you're just putting your attention on the sensation, like the texture of air moving across your nostrils. It could be that you've got your attention on the part of your body that moves the most when you take an inhale. So maybe it's the side of your ribs. When you put your brain on a specific detail like that, it's less likely to take you somewhere else and distract you. Steady rhythmic breath. Stay or king pigeon. Grab a hold of your back ankle. Yeah, and you might find like you can grab the other ankle real easily, and this side you're like, I'm not even sure what's going on back there. That's fine. Just do the best you can. Downward facing dog, shake it out. Seated wide leg fold, come through to sit. Legs nice and wide apart, toes up toward the ceiling. So some of you might be more comfortable sitting on a block because it'll get your tailbone a little bit out from underneath you. Others of you, you'll be just fine sitting on the floor. So if you need the block, grab the block. Toes up to the ceiling. Even though I'm pretty flexible, sometimes I like playing with the block because it gives you a different perspective on the pose. So it's something to keep in mind. Walk yourself forward. If you can reach your toes, great. And if not, great. Let them land where they land. Yeah, you can use a block to rest your forehead. That's a good tool for it as well. Stay right here and breathe. Now, a lot of times, a lot of teachers in the studio will call either this pose or frog pose. Every time I will choose frog pose because I could hang out there for days. This pose is like my arch nemesis. For whatever reason, there's always one pose that you're like, I really hope they skip that pose. But the one that you want to skip, the one that you find gets you up in your head and makes you overthink a thing, that's the pose you need to do because it'll force something up to the surface for you. So stay. Point your toes back up to the ceiling. Yep, stay right here. Sometimes it helps to soften your knees a little bit so you've got a little more room to work with. And then you stay. Steady breath. And as the hips open up and your inner thigh muscles open up, you just stay and let that space happen. Now to come out of it, hands underneath your knees. Let your hands help lift your knees so you can bring your legs back together. Oof, yeah. Legs straight out in front. You can come off your block if you're on one. Right leg out, left heel in towards your thigh. Seated single leg extension. So you can put a towel or a strap around the end of your foot or just let your hands land where they land on your leg. Toes up to the ceiling. Put your attention on your breath in a way that expands the middle of your back. Like imagine the air moving in through your nose to the back side of your body so it can pull that tissue apart. All that work, all that residual heat moving around, making space, creating something new in your body. Switch legs, left leg out, right heel in. You fold as far as you're going to fold and then attention on your breath. It's easy no matter how long you've been practicing to get caught up in the, well, it's supposed to look like this. It's not really a thing. Like the general shape of the pose, yes, and then all the rest of it's up to you. Toes up to the ceiling. Seated forward fold, both legs straight out in front. Reach your arms up to the ceiling to lengthen out the sides of your body first. Hinge right at your hips, just like the hinge on a door. Toes up to the ceiling. Yes. Press the soles of your feet straight ahead of you. Tabletop or reverse plank. Plant your palms behind your hips. Fingertips face the front edge of your mat. Fingertips face forward. Then either flat feet on the ground for tabletop or long legs with your toes pointed down for plank. Yeah, Yeah, you can drop your head back if that feels okay for your neck. If not, just look ahead. Take a big breath in, lift your hips, lower down. Come down onto your back. Let's get upside down. One last opportunity. So any inversion you want to take is up to you. You can take waterfall on your back with your legs in the air. If you'd like to go to shoulder stand, start in plow pose first. So get your legs back behind you. So you've got time to get your hands on your low back and tuck your elbows close together. Headstands and handstands, you go where you need to go. But know that you've got time, that there's no rush, and I'm the only one watching you. So you create whatever upside down needs to happen here. It might feel good to roll your ankles around or point your toes or flex your ankles. Yeah. Stay curious about each and every pose. So if you're ever in a pose and you're like, oh, this kind of feels like same old, what can you do to shift that and make that not be the case? Where can you put some curiosity and shift the pose so it becomes awake and alive again? Headstands and handstands. You've got another breath or two, and then child's pose to reset. Shoulder stands, move to plow. Long legs behind you. Land in the plow. So even if your feet don't touch the ground, just keep your hands on your low back and allow the stretch to happen in your upper back and in the backs of your legs. Stay right there and plow. Plow to deaf yogi. Bend your knees and hug them around the sides of your head. And stay here in deaf yogi for a few breaths. Big, deep breaths. Slowly lower your spine to the mat, piece by piece. Hug your knees into your chest. Give them a squeeze. Drop your knees to the right. Twist and look to the left. Supine twist. Let your shoulders melt down to the floor. Even if that means your top knee is floating in space, let your shoulders come down to the mat. What? Supine twist the opposite way. Let your bones get heavy, down to the floor. Knees back to center. Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet to touch. The whole lower back stretch out. Let your bones sink down to the mat. Shavasana. Let your legs go out long. Those of you in studio, you've got a cold eye towel by the upper corner of your mat. Ratana and Vipa, I wish I had an eye towel for you as well. Let yourself take up some space. Long arms, long legs. And take a long, slow breath in through your nose. Fill yourself up and up and up. Exhale it out. Let your entire body rest easy on your mat. Deepen your breath. Bring movement back into your hands and your feet. And plant your feet on the floor and rock onto your right side. Pause for a moment to thank yourself for showing up. And with your eyes still closed, press down and rise up. Take a comfortable seat. Inhale, reach your hands overhead. Exhale, thumbs to heart center. We'll finish our practice together with 3 final ohms. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath in, exhale it out. Thumb knuckles to forehead center. Thank you all so much taking time to come in the studio, to sign in virtually, to make your practice happen. Namaste. Good work, everybody. Sweaty, sweaty. So, a couple of things. If you borrowed a mat, you can just leave it on the floor so that we can clean it after class. Eye towels can go in either one of the plastic hampers just outside the studio doors. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'll be floating around the studio. And hopefully I will see you on Thursday.
Thanks, Megan.
You are very welcome.